how and where do we draw the line between things that are offensive, opinions that are offensive, and perspectives or ideas that directly cause and perpetuate harm in some cases? For example, inciting violence or threatening groups. When it crosses that point, what is that? What is that line, and how do we draw that?
I think it's going to be different in every situation, because there is a line between talking and action. There is a line between thought and an actual physical activity. I think that in a civilized society, we need to be able to all pull ourselves back from the brink. And I think that that's something that we have lost a little bit of. I think, when Craig was mentioning Facebook, and, that you're not talking to another person, you're talking to a thing, an avatar. I think that we all in our institutions, even in our conversations, we have a place where we're going to go and we're going to stop. We have, and I guess maybe some people don't, but for me, when I start getting uncomfortable, when I start feeling threatened, that's the time when I say, you know what, we got to pull back from this right now. And if it's whoever's in charge that given activity, if it's a meeting, if it's a conversation, we can separate. But it's tricky.
I'm feeling a little maybe out of line here because I'm not a librarian, and I'm on this panel with several of you who are. But I don't really look to my librarians to draw lines. Librarians, it's so between what is just an idea and what is inciting action. There's medical journals that incite action. Librarians draw one line, and you can find this line in any library, and it's the line between fiction and nonfiction, right? Every library has that. Your fiction books are in one place, your nonfiction books are in another place. And I think that is a great line, and that is a great public service that you are providing. I'm just noticing that and naming it. And other than that, I think the thing I love about libraries is that there aren't other lines. It's open access, all the good things that you've been saying. You are simply facilitating the marketplace of ideas and providing an opportunity for people to access books. You're not forcing anybody to do anything or cross any line that they don't want to cross. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm also a former teacher of history, and so I can't help but think about how our opinion of an event is different today than it is in the moment. And when you look back on things, let's just take the American Revolution, for example. We can say, wow, look at these patriots who fought oppression to create a country that they wanted. Okay, sure. Not extrapolating this to any of the broader issues, by the way, but just saying, like, we look at that event as, like, there was certainly violence, there were certainly radical, unpopular ideas. There was a minority that fought a much better funded, much larger group and won, and all of those things. And I think that, again, is like really imbued in the American spirit, that the underdog rises to the top and wins. And so I just think, some of the events that have happened in the past several years, there's been violence from both sides, and it's easy to focus on violence and attacks and painful things that the other side is doing to you. But I think with some perspective in 50 or 100 years, it might be evaluated differently, and we might see the points that either side was making. I think of like the climate crisis, and I just saw today that there were some climate protesters that interrupted a performance of Les Mis in Paris. And I was just like, wow, okay, this is like very interesting and really a lot of layers to think about. And people were upset about this action, but if those people are trying to draw attention to a climate emergency, and so I don't know, this doesn't really help answer anything, but I just feel like thoughts and opinions about events have changed over time, and perspective and space impact that.